So Allison Hartson is now the Senate candidate in California for the Justice Democrats. She's taking on Dianne Feinstein. She was the national director of Wolf-PAC. She was one of the national directors. Mike Mineta is the other. Wolf-PAC needs to replace her. Now, you can't replace her overall. We're going to get a young guy in who we think is great, who's been a fighter for us already at the state level and has been an organizer for us. But what we're asking you to do is to help by becoming a member. It's a simple drive, and I hope that you guys can do this, because if we don't do this, we can't get money out of politics, and then we lose on all the issues: net neutrality, the environment, bank bailouts, and the list goes on and on. So what we want you to do is go to wolf-pac.com/John and sign up to become a member. Okay, and we're going to do a thermometer. If we can get to 250 members, then we hire John. We need the money to hire John, otherwise we can't hire him. And that's the way things work, because we don't have big donors. We just have you guys. And if you fight together, you can win together. I'm going to show you a video of John in a second that shows you that. Here's a picture of John Shen. He is from Connecticut. And the reason the graphic says the closer next to me is because that's how he got his nickname. Because when they were fighting in Connecticut, he would drive an hour away from his home to go canvass voters to get them to turn out to make a difference. And he was always the last guy in, because he had to work and then drive all the way in and then canvass, and he's the last one out. And he worked so hard. He was the Warrior of the Month in April, and then he became the organizing director in Connecticut. He's got a master's degree from Yale, and he's fighting right now for no money, and hopefully we can hire him for very little money to help bring democracy back. A lot of people go to Ivy League colleges and think, yeah, cha-ching, I'm gonna get paid, I'm gonna get a lot of money, I'm gonna go to finance, I'm gonna do a startup, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? You know, John is busting his ass as a volunteer to try to get democracy back and get money out of politics. Let's hire him. Let's raise enough money to be able to hire him. It doesn't take that much. We need 250 people to do that. By the way, he's currently a scientist who studies bacteria. So it's a good person to clean up Washington. So let me show you who John is. Take a look at this short video. This is what they did when they were in Illinois and they'd done a get together for Wolf-PAC directors and organizers. And John told his story back then.
My name is John Shen. I organize for the state of Connecticut. I'm a research associate. For me, getting money out of politics is the issue that stands in the way of every other issue that I care about. Issues like stopping the negative impacts of climate change or getting universal health care are all being held up by the fact that in this country, people who have more money to spend in our political system than others have a louder voice. Money in politics is personal to me. Just in this most previous election, I wasn't very politically active or politically conscious even before maybe a year and a half ago. And I was sort of awakened by Bernie Sanders' campaign. And since then, I've seen a lot of the negative impacts of money in politics and the things that money in politics has enabled to become reality in our country. It's not the sort of world that I want to live in or the kind of country I want to live in the future. It's not the kind of country that I was promised as a kid or that I want to leave to my children. So that's kind of why I'm fighting for this. It's really been a great experience so far, working with the team, meeting people from really all walks of life in Connecticut and working towards this same goal that we share. Currently, I am the organizing director for the state of Connecticut. To come here today, I've taken 2 days off of work, spent money out of my own pocket to buy a plane ticket, pay for the hotel, really because I believe, in this issue and this organization a lot, and the people I've met through my time here.
Kid went to Yale, and he's got very little money, and he's paying out of his own pocket to go to learn about organizing so he can go back home and fight to get money out of politics so we can free our government. You got to help us hire him. We got to get warriors like this in here. And he says in the longer version of the video that they haven't won in Connecticut yet. We won in 5 states. Connecticut's not one of them yet. We're really, really close there. And he said even though we didn't win yet, the wins that we did get, man, he said it's one of the most fulfilling things he's ever done in his life. So look, I get it. Not everybody's got the money to donate, but then for God's sake, volunteer yourself. And you see what we do. Allison was a teacher in Orange County. She got promoted all the way up. Mike Mineta was a guy who would go up on telephone poles to fix them. He's the national director. The other guys are, one of them is called a mechanic because he's a mechanic. Right? And John went to Yale, and he came in and he worked the hardest to get to a position. Let us hire John, wolf-pac.com/John. Make it happen. And together, if we fight together, we win together. I want to deliver 5 new states for you guys this year, but we need the staff to be able to do it. So let's go do it together right now. Thank you. Help us build independent media together. TYTnetwork.com/join.